At one day, out of boredom, I found myself on speedrun.com, just to see if there were any fun runs that I could take on. And after browsing for a little bit, I saw this game that I faintly recognized. Slime Rancher. A game about trapping these way too cute slimes in cages and exploiting them for money. That sounds really cruel when I say it out loud. But anyway, when I took a peek at the leaderboard and the world record, held by the Pig King at the time, it looked like a really fun speedrun. A lot of broken skips, but you know, still fun. So I booted up Slime Rancher and tested out the movement. I had a good feeling about it, but it was very quick that I realized that I had no idea where to start the run. Luckily, there was this one guy on YouTube, Rockcan, who made Slime Rancher speedrun tutorials. The concept of the game is very simple. You need to feed the so-called Gordos their favorite food and collect their keys. With these keys you can open the gates, and at the end you read Hop's last note, sleep for a few days and the credits roll. Okay, I know that sounds complicated, but let's just move on and I'll mention certain parts of the run further into the video, when they're relevant. On my first run I just followed the video, and after about an hour I finished my run. This was obviously way too long, so I quickly did another run. This run was already a lot better. I still needed to look at the tutorial from time to time, but I was able to do most of it by myself. On the third run I was feeling confident that I could beat it without the tutorial. So I set up a simple speedrun timer and got to work. My start was the best one I got to this point. I did make some big mistakes during the run though, like forgetting to pick up the key from the Gordos. That was some valuable time thrown out the window. But even with these mistakes, I got a 20:08, which really wasn't bad for my third run ever. I started to take the speedrunning a lot more serious now that I knew I could actually get a great time. So I also set up a more detailed timer that would automatically split for me on every key segment of the run. These runs did involve some RNG though, which led to me having to reset over half of the runs due to bad luck. You see, after a little bit in the run, you have to feed your slimes and mangoes. You have to be lucky enough that the mangoes drop, but also that the plorts that the slimes produce have a good market value, since you need at least 2650 new bucks. That really wasn't optimal, but I would just have to deal with it. And after some resets, I got a really good run in. A time of 17 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's go, bro. I can't believe I just did that. Let's go. That's such a good time, actually. Let's go. Well, I was really happy with it. And that took about 3 minutes of my previous PB. That was actually huge and gave me a big confidence boost. It was also around this time that I started to wonder what Rockcan, my teacher's personal best for the any percent run was. So I looked it up and he had a time of 15 minutes and 15 seconds. I played 4 full runs so far and was already at a 17:45. It seemed to be very possible to beat this time and secure myself a top spot on the leaderboard. But that probably won't happen anytime soon. For now I just set myself a goal for a top 100 spot. Not too long after I managed to polish my techniques even more and got a time of 17 minutes and 26 seconds. And there wasn't much else I could really do better about the runs that I was doing, except for some small mistakes. So it was about time that I started to learn some of the big skips. There were still some skips that I wanted to learn, but implementing them all into my run at the same time would be a bit much. So I was gonna do it in phases, starting with phase 1. At the start of the run, I usually go around this wall right here, but you can do a little trick in order to get over the wall. You want to come walking from this angle and then jump when you almost hit this line. Then shoot the slime right beneath you. When you land on the wall, you can jump off on the other side and your energy should be refilled. Then you want to jump on this rock, just to immediately jump again. Then you can walk into this wall from a specific angle and it launches you up. This is called a wall climb. Combining all of these skips together can take off a few extra seconds from my time. That doesn't sound like much, but in a short run like this, every second matters. After getting good at all of the skips, I tried implementing them into a run. And after a few tries, I got my time down to a 17:14. In phase 2, I want to focus on largo jumps. Mastering these jumps can lead to a significant time loss. Honestly, the jumps weren't too hard, but you just have to do a whole lot of them. So the way you do it is you suck up a largo slime, then walk into a certain wall, look slightly down and let go of the slime. Now you get launched into the air and boosted on top of the wall. This is a largo jump. I also found this clever technique where right after you open the first door to Moss Blanket, You run into this corner and shoot slimes at the wall while also looking slightly down. When you're on the wall, you walk along the path, then jump to the other side and jump over the tree stump to save even more time. And I practiced these skips a lot. And then it was time for phase 3. Now, having practiced a lot of the skips, I was feeling ready to combine everything into one run. And I was actually doing really well in that run. At some point I was ahead 50 seconds of my PB. But then, towards the end of the run, I made a big mistake. I didn't wait at this platform for my energy to be recharged. I just jetpacked over to the other side and I just didn't make it. So I had to walk all the way around again. I did finish the run after with 16 minutes and 51 seconds. Still a PB run. And after that I went back to my practice world. I needed more practice on the hard skips and make sure something like last run wouldn't happen again. And a few runs later, I had a very good run on my hands. The run started like any other. I grabbed all the fruit and veggies I could get my hands on and fed it to the pink Gordo. I actually had a slow start, but then I got the best second segment that I ever got, which you can see by the gold split. Inside the moss blanket, the honey slimes and boom slimes were right on my path so I could pick them up. And after a little bit, I had good RNG and got enough money. That was conveniently enough also a gold split, by 11 seconds even. And a lot of gold splits just kept coming throughout the run. Towards the end of the run, right before feeding the Dervish Gordo, I waited a little bit for my energy to refill and I made the jump. After feeding the Gordo, I quickly ran through the last part of the run and slept until I received the last letter. And I finished my run at a 16 minutes and 14 seconds. Nice, let's go. Wait, why isn't it stopping? Okay, let's go, PB. I was really hyped about getting a time like this, so I immediately went to check on speedrun.com. And well, I got 90th place, in the top 100, just like I wanted. That officially meant that I was a part of the top 10% runners. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see the full run, you can see it on my second channel. The link will be in the description. Now, there were still some mistakes in this run, and also some skips that I just didn't use at all. So there's still much room for improvement in my runs. But for now, I was really happy with my time, and also very thankful to Rockcan's tutorial on YouTube. Only, I haven't managed to beat him. Yet. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe. It would help the channel out a lot. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.